Limelight. Right, guys. So as I said, we're doing a bit of a binge day today, aren't we? So I've decided that was the first one I'm going to kick off with. It's about the Channel 5 documentary. It was called My Wife, My Abuser, and Miles. It's about domestic violence, but the tables are sort of turned. So it's a guy telling his story about his wife abusing him, and she did it for over 20 years. Which is a fucking long time, isn't it? That's like 2 decades, isn't it, really? His name's Richard Spencer, and his wife is Cherie Spencer. They've got 3 kids, I think, together. She did things like physical threats. She did, sorry. It was physical, it was, she did threats, she did financial control. She controlled where he slept at night, controlled him financially. She really went at it, this woman. And over 20, like I say, over 20 years, the violence obviously increased from just pushing and shoving till it was like sort of way worse. She was locking him out of the house at night, making him stay outside. He even goes on to say that he knows this. There's a place in his garage or something where it's the warmest part of the garage. I mean, you shouldn't need to know that, should you, really? Unfortunately, but yeah. She even permanently disfigured him by hitting him continuously over time. Elvis, give over, darling. Over time on his ear. So like boxers get like cauliflower ear. This Richard did as well. She also, which horrifically, she defecated on his face and then basically said, "Go and clean my shit up." I mean, God, a lot of the abuse he recorded on a nanny cam, and the only reason he sort of did that is because she would say that I'm going to make it out as though it's you, and she would lean out of the window and shout, "Stop hitting me! Stop hitting me!" And this guy really only sort of stayed and put up with what he put up with. Fear as well, obviously, but mainly because of his kids. I mean, you watch this documentary and you see kids, they're playing. Him and her. For those of you who haven't seen it, they're sat on the sofa, and she's abusing him verbally, and the kids are just there playing like it's normal. So like I said, that's all they've known, isn't it? Really, it's like wow. So he ended up with sort of 36 videos, 9 audio clips, 43 photos of his injuries, and basically he told a friend he obviously got too much, as so everybody's got the breaking point, haven't they? Everyone's like got enough when they say enough is enough, no matter what it is, no matter how scared they are or whatever. A person will only take so much, won't they? And he sort of got to that, sorry. And he confided in a friend, and a friend seen these, and there was like one particular one where she's got a knife to his throat, and his friend just said, "There's no way I can just sit on this, she's gonna end up killing you," basically. So he sort of went to the police, and he said, "Well, if you sort of don't want to be my friend, basically, because of what I've done, hopefully you will in time." And he had to. I mean, he did it for the safety of his friend, basically. Anyway, they come and they arrest her, and he opens up this whole kind of 20 years of abuse, she got 4 years in prison for it. And like most things that, anything that's a good documentary, especially one that sort of like shocks people a little bit, is always on social media. And I looked on it, I saw like this. I came across some comment on it, a post on Facebook, and people are, wow, that they, well, some of them, I'll read some of the comments I've written down. Where are they now? 4 years is a joke. If this was a man having done it to a woman, they'd have got longer. It's hard to watch. This one person said they even had to turn it off. I mean, so I sort of headed straight over and watched it, and it grips you from straight away. it grips you from the moment it comes on, where there's, where the writing comes up and it sort of tells you a bit about it. It really, really, really does grip you. I would recommend it to absolutely anybody. And he's so brave because, I mean, he's coming forward and speaking about his abuse, which it's got a little stigma to it, hasn't it? Like some guys feel a little bit embarrassed that it's a woman doing the the abusing. To see, a lot of people have got opinions, well, everyone's opinionated, whether they actually voice it in the right way or I don't know. But anyway, so he's ever so brave, and obviously he's done a documentary, and speaks very frank about it. How he was scared. He says I can't believe it. I look back in it. It's like it's not me. He speaks about his loss of his mum when he was younger, and how that made him be able to detach from himself. So he goes on to say sort of when she was sort of doing this, he just like sort of say like focus on a bit of the sofa or the bed, wherever he was, and that sort of detached him from it. It's like it wasn't happening to him. She worked in she was had a good job, in like what was she? Something to do with probation. I'm not sure what he was, but again, he also had a good job. I mean, the police actually went to the house, and it was like a 5-bedroomed house. They were following up, but it was the first time these police officers had been these particular ones, and they're like, "We've got the wrong house, surely. This lifestyle, what we've seen on these videos, is not coming from this house, And I think it's very a hard topic. It's a topic that needs it definitely needs promoting, so to speak. It needs bringing awareness to, rather, definitely. I mean, domestic violence, it goes on, unfortunately, every day, doesn't it? For people, and affects people's lives, children's lives, loved ones' lives. Some are even lose their life to domestic violence, don't they? But it's always women, men, isn't it? Men doing it to the women. You don't hear about it that much. There was a documentary on the BBC about it was called Alex, and he was like, literally a few days or hours of death. That's another one that's very good. What does it? My abused girlfriend or something. I'll double check. On BBC, it's on the iPlayer. I think it's on YouTube as well. Someone popped it on YouTube. Give it a mess. So there was that one that brought awareness for a little bit, and that because that was out quite a few years ago. And then there's now this one. But this one is they're both brilliant, actually. I don't know which one I like better. Actually, I'm not too sure. But I think what the problem is people who haven't been through it themselves firsthand, or haven't been through it with a loved one. They can't grasp, they can't get their head round somebody controlling somebody like that, and because it's not only like physical violence, is it? It's also mental, and like financial as well, torture and control. Sorry, but I think what people do struggle with as well, like I say, who haven't been through it, is a man is physically stronger than a woman. I'm not sort of like, I believe in equal rights, but the top and bottom of it is, unless you are a fucking bodybuilder, you are a man is physically stronger than a woman, isn't it? And I think people struggle with the fact that they can't get their head around the fact that, really and truthfully, I'm not promoting this, but if a woman came at a man, he could just knock her the fuck out, couldn't he? Do you know what I mean? And I think people struggle with that. Like, they think, well, fucking hell, why don't you just fucking, strain her at least? Fucking knock her the fuck out and just, headbutt the bitch, so to speak, which is, it's like the person who's doing it to them, it's all control. They get you when you're vulnerable, don't they? And it doesn't matter if you're a man or a woman. If you're like that, and you've got the ability to do that, and that's what you're intending, you will achieve it. You know, and then that leaves that person sort of isolated in a relationship where what they don't really want to be in. Really, I mean, they might love that person, but they love that person who they were, don't they? It's not who they become, obviously. So when I do live later, all the videos that I've done throughout the day, the little ones, I'm trying to just get them, like, you know, because I'm going to do quite a few, well, as many as I can. I'm just going to sort of make them like a 10-minute videos, so we can always discuss this more in the live. So I'll get this one uploaded. This is like sort of first binge one, and let's have a look what we're going to do next. I mean, I'm going to do sort of like topic ones that I've wrote down and stuff, and fact-based things, but also just going to, you know, do a little catch-up and stuff in between, and any antics that's happened. So we've got on our list, for those who have just joined, and not caught the first one, we've just done the Channel 5 one. So we've got Mum grasses kid up to police and gets him quite a long time in prison. So we'll see what my thoughts are on that. How I got Channel Chatter actually put down, because put down, it sounds like a fucking dog, doesn't it? Alright. How it got took down because there seems to be a lot of opinions about somebody sent me, I'm working for somebody, you know, yeah. So I'll tell you, you know, you don't have to guess, I'll tell you how I did it. And I'm also I've been speaking to a family friend of his as well, so I'll speak about that. And it's not just his left messages, like phone number wise, you know, text messages, private text messages. What else? Sharon Gale, because that is a fucking lunatic in its half. So yeah, guys, see you later, and we will be back very soon.